somebody out there is probably asking where the hell am I? Still over here acting like a boomer with my stuff. Apparently I wanted to get the word out about what the hell was gonna happen, but no dice apparently. I also been taking note that my mic has been completely shit. So I don't know what I'm gonna do about getting a new mic. That's probably not gonna happen anytime soon. I might have to use my audio software instead. I'm working on to doing something about that right now. I'm just trying to gather my notes, so I know what I'm gonna do this like quick as possible. If I get to do that, I get to make this quick. Let me see. I don't know. I'm thinking about trying to fix up some things before I get started. Probably number one is trying to make sure. I mean, I did say that I was gonna make this short enough so that people can just watch it afterwards, so it's not gonna be a big deal. And that's gonna be the new thing going forward. But I'll get to that shortly. These things are just so that efficiency is within order, because I can't keep doing this on this channel if I know that I'm gonna be stepping back to look for work. I have work, and then work puts me in a fucking tizzy, and come on. I'm having like a moment where I'm just, mine's going on all over the place. So whatever. Maybe I should probably just start with the intro, because there's no better way of doing this. New format, new style. Looking forward to a new me, 2023. I know I just can't do it with all the gigs and also, if you're wondering what the hell what the title is all about, that title is nothing short of what it's supposed to be. Really did get my channel pregnant on some dummy shit, and then did not know what to do because I knew I didn't have the money to support it, and I'm over here joining the gig economy, trying to see what I can do to survive. I can't do that. I can't do that for myself. I can't pull money from anywhere. I have to pull it from somewhere. You realize when you didn't see me for about a few months in the end of 2021, that was just pretty much me saying, I'm gonna lose my shit if I don't have work. Then in January, like end of December, early January, you heard me saying, okay, so I have work. Okay, so I'm doing this. Okay, so I'm doing that. And then you saw me post once. So, I'm trying to find different ways for content support. Let me just start by saying and introducing myself again, because apparently you don't know your daddy much, do you? You don't know where dad's been, do you? No, you don't. No, you don't know where the fuck dad's been. So let me tell you where dad's been, okay? You wanna know where dad's been? I'll tell you where dad's been, alright? Here's where dad's been. Alright, here's where dad's been. Hi. My name is Max. Maximonday. Acid Max. Verified Max. Who cares? I'm not Taz. I'm not tool assisted. I'm not a tool assisted speedrun. 572. And I came here trying to, of all things, know if I wasn't going to find a job anytime soon, I would try to find jobs off of my own stuff, my own art. So, what better way than to put in a digital portfolio on YouTube. Now, of course, I'm no I'm no special person, and anybody else who does it have also had to go through the same strides and uh sh- what trite what word am I looking for, because this is like, anyway, I made this channel so I can make a digital portfolio, see if anybody will come across it and see what they like. Then it was like, well, maybe I can probably find some support on Patreon, so I made a Patreon. That went as well as it did, not actually going anywhere because COVID happened, and now I don't know what it, like, everybody didn't know whether or not they were gonna have money to survive, and then they did, and then I don't know, they spent a whole bunch on other stuff, and I'm trying to do things to prepare myself and get ready for the wave, and then I did nothing because even COVID just hit me in some sort of way. So it's like, let me try this again. Let me try this again. Let me try introducing myself again, because now I'm about to start going in circles. You thought I had notes? I actually didn't have notes. I had a roadmap of how to do it, but I never made notes. I never wrote down what I wanted to do. I just needed to, but I did write down something. But it's not something that relates to what's going on right now. But I'm Max. My work is nothing short of me making cartoons, anime, furry art, whatever. I make a lot of stuff. I'm a jack of all trades, or at least I pride myself on being a jack of all trades, because I'm not scared of trying out what it is that I have to do in the art field in order to succeed. I'm not scared of it. Granted, I have integrity, but I'm not scared of it. I draw funny animals doing stupid shit. I draw goofy ass porn. I draw a lot of other things. I animate when I can and when I have the time to. And when I do it, it's alright. And when I don't do it, I don't do it. For the most part, I just sit around, play fighting games, and figure out what the workforce has in store for me. And as of 2019, I used to be an IT guy. Now I'm not an IT guy. 2020 hit, and for 2 years I was out of the job. Finally, 2022 hits, and I have a job. That job is delivery. Hooray for the gig economy. Now I do nothing but worry about whether or not the rain is gonna get me tripped up on some random ass manhole in New York City, or if I'm gonna have to deal with New York City traffic, or just anything else about New York City just trying to murder me. And so there's nothing wrong with having to get a bit of cardio and gratitude from people who praise you for being that fast on the road. It's just that nobody else is gonna give a shit when all is said and done. And I have creativity, like creative outlets that I want to do, and I just wasn't getting it. Finally, I guess the entire fucking year has just been like, well, not finally, no, not finally. Throughout the majority of 2022, I've done nothing but deliver groceries to people. Through not just one company, but 2 companies. One of them being shut down in America because the Ukraine and Russian war took place, and Russian pretty much cut off their funds, and I couldn't get work anymore. So I had to look through other means of work, and I just kind of bounced around right over there. And I thought I was gonna get the same thing, only difference is, I guess the volume I guess the volume wasn't my strong suit, and I wasn't used to it. So the volume wasn't my strong suit. The environment in which I had to deliver wasn't my strong suit. I was not having a good time. On top of that, uh, I've also had a few strenuous moments of housing. So, like, there was nothing but like hounding and harassment with my housing situation that had to escalate to going to court. So, it's not like it was any of my business, but I was being hounded about it like it was my business because my mom had to make sure that all of that had to be handled herself because this is her lease. Finally, uh, my grandfather passing away wasn't wasn't the nicest thing to my mental health because I I never could have I never could have realized that I was gonna be so detached from him for the past 2 years and not seeing him, and and it was just being cut off from everybody. I mean, it's not like we don't. It's not like me and my grandparents don't talk, but I know that I was. I know that I felt like I wasn't talking to him that much as I want to, but when we do, it's not anything bad. It's always something good, and it's always to just like still remind each other that we're still family. But the entire summer was nothing but thinking about that, thinking about how appreciated I feel in my uh, how I how appreciated I feel as an employee in the company because obviously companies like that, when you work for a company, things don't really feel homey. And that's not to say that the company before that felt homey. No, you only have like your coworkers and your managers and your supervisors to go by, and luckily enough, they were people's people too. So it's not like I was getting shit on all the way. But when all you have is the company to have your influence over, it makes working in the company stressful. So there wasn't a lot of outlet like there wasn't a lot of outlets trying to uh, open up about my grief. Granted, like all I'd have to do was just phone my mom, who was away to comfort my grandmother. Um, I had that going on. I had to make sure that she was all right, while also having to deal with landlord over my head, possibly, I don't know, doing whatever. Not that I cared about it, but the idea never escaped my mom that something like breaking and entering would happen or something. So I don't know. I was living with that threat, and I like just like high on edge, like on edge about it. I guess. I guess finally, about feeling stressed is yeah, feeling even remotely safe about the economy or politics or being an adult or just like, because I'm not saying like, oh, being an adult, like I just turned being adult. Like I don't know if any of you guys know this, but Negro, Negus, nigga, I'm 24 right now. Uh, and all I've been wanting to do so far before I even like got started was see whether or not I can uh work work within my utility, my talents, my skills, and be able to support family or just be able to move out on my own. and all of that has just been like just I don't know. It's just like tit for tat, just getting slapped. You know. Uh, Everywhere I turned, there could have been a left. There could have been some fastball coming out of left field, and I wasn't really ready for it. And all it did was leave me with very little teeth to spare to eat my dinner. In other words, I I I kept feeling more and more unstable. I kept feeling more and more unstable, and if I didn't have the immediates that I have to talk to in order to feel that way, I probably could have done things to myself or to others that just anybody. I don't know what I'm fucking annoyed and I'm fucking tired. I'm fucking tired of this year and I just want to move on. So like where am I now? Because it doesn't sound like it's gonna be any better, right? Uh Guess again. The only difference the only difference between then and now is that if I didn't do anything about it, of course I would be in a more shittier situation. But there were a lot of other things that I had to adapt to in order to make sure that I just don't completely lose it. Um, I had to feel better about a couple of things. Furthermore, my self-respect. Other things, the way how I handled particular situations and being able to just find ways to adapt to them. Granted, that doesn't mean that I'm okay with them. It just means that I just have to tolerate them and really communicate with those who can at least mitigate those problems for me so that it doesn't have to be that way all the time. That means talking to friends, talking to supervisors, talking to managers, talking to my family. Really, just talking would make things a little bit better. Now, of course, where it comes to money, that becomes its own problem because all I like it's like when you have money, that's pretty much your clock in America. Your clock, your ticker is money, and if you don't have money, well, your ticker's right there. You're dead. You're basically dead with no money. Haha. Uh, Capitalism. Uh, anyway, um, whereas you know, housing is concerned, outside of my mental health, with housing is concerned, I've found housing. I'm glad I found housing. I'm so glad I found housing. I don't have to worry about it. Uh, I guess where everything is, where where the courts are settled, um, things should be fine, and nothing should be too crazy. Uh, they were settled. There was and has been a settlement on whatever happened. That you know, uh, whatever happened from my mom not being able to pay the rent in so long. You know that that pretty much ironed itself out because that dude did harass us the entire COVID. Yeah, that dude did harass us or find weird ways to harass us the entire rest of the COVID, and we were my mom especially was not fans of it. So we came to a settlement, and that was it. Found another place, and we're pretty much just getting ready to be on our way out. Um, as far as the place is concerned, uh, it's pretty pricey, as you would expect for New York City. I tried making sure I could secure something that was within my pay grade. Um, my mom made it seem as if she couldn't necessarily that made it seem as if she can find assistance while also trying to find a job, or at least I thought she was already on the rise of having a job, and then I realized that with all the money I saved, I still have to pay I still have to pay that same amount for for this month and possibly for the next 4 months if we cannot seek assistance within this time. And I'm fucking annoyed, or at least I've been in shambles. I've been dejected about it because you know here I am wanting to go within something like pay grade, and I'm just over here accepting the fact that maybe I can just like, I don't know, maybe I can deal with having to pay this much while knowing I can pay like only a fraction of what it's worth, because I've been paying more bills than 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 need be, because you know I'm just trying to sustain like a phone bill, an internet bill, a light and electric, like in this household, of course, but knowing that we have to move out in a bit, I don't know how I'm going to do that without, and it's like it's as simple as cutting them, but then how else will I be able to advertise what I have to do? So I'm just like with like in a mention, and it's no rush to even like move out anyway. So I'm trying to see where I can. Where I was trying to pay everything with the new place is concerned, because I went through the whole leasing and security process, but now I just have to. I have to work like a mule, and I'll tell you what, fuck that, alright? I'm not about working like a mule. I'll work like a mule with things that I like to do rather than working like a mule for things that I don't like to do, because there's no utility in that. I'd rather blow my fucking brains out. I'm already riding a bike as is and dealing with weather conditions. And really there's no better way of feeling like your own boss than having to be able to chill in your warehouse until it's time to do your stuff. And I like doing my stuff as much as the next guy, but to do that and to do a job that has to involve uh I don't know, more labor, because I didn't just get that job, all right? I just got that job. And how it's like you have a job just made for anybody. Yeah, I was given that job because it was just made for anybody. Entry level type things. The only difference is, I guess entry level means they don't probably. There's no better way of making yourself feel better while doing something entry level. There's no merit. There's no like appreciation. There's no real gratitude in it. So to deal with two of them is not something I want to do. I'll tell you one time where I did two jobs. One of them is something that I like to do, and the other one was something that I like to do, and it was an entry-level job. It was an internship and being a cafe boy behind the corner. That was doable enough. And I got home at the dead of like 2 o'clock in the morning. That was fine within its own right, and I found out how to have a work-life balance surrounding me. In comparison to what I would have to do in today's economy would make no sense. So I can't do that. I want, and it's like there was no creative outlet. Whereas in 2018 when I was doing that, there was a creative outlet. It was to educate. It was to educate and like it was to educate and like be something else. Be something else in like an institution, whether it be whether you're a tour guide or somebody that did programs or you did IT. There was a buttload of things for me to do in that museum that I could have done anywhere and it would have felt better. But it doesn't feel any better if all I'm gonna be pestered to do is say, bro, just pick up another. Fuck you! I'm not picking up another job for that. Which is why I just want to talk about the next best thing, while also trying to write a plan and deliver groceries to people and get tips on top of my wage and being able to solidify my preferential treatment for work-life balance. And that's if I find some form of fulfillment and just trying to create something. And it doesn't just stop there. Because people just found so many fucking stupid things to get rich off of that it just bothers me why I haven't found too many clientele of my own to just do it. And luckily, when I was in the COVID phase, I was alerted to so many different forms of that outlet that I just got a burst of it too from this channel. The only thing is whether or not I'm going to be consistent in mastering the algorithm. And I'm not saying that like I'm trying to hack away at like Obsidian for shit to work. Like you're never gonna, like, me trying to hack away at fucking Bedrock in order for that shit to break. Like, no, it's not me trying to hack away at that insanely, no. I'm just saying, there's so many people that I don't know would give me a chance, that would give me a chance. There's so many other people. And it's already enough that I have this job to help me at least fund just a little bit of that. So, I don't know if there's anybody else that wants my artwork. And I made sure that I updated my Patreon for this, just so it feels like people actually can do it gracefully, instead of feeling like they have to do it monthly, like at a month's pace. They don't have to do that. They can just grant me something if they feel like it. I'll show you the fucking model too, if you guys need to know what that looks like. I'd probably just have to fix it. You're gonna end up seeing the thumbnail and a couple of other things that you probably don't want to see right now. Let me see this. So here we have, because I'm not even set up right now, here we have my Patreon model. And oh god, you know, what the fuck. I made a Patreon model for the channel, and while I didn't make a particular kind of Patreon channel, I made a Patreon model to just help me with trying to figure out commissions. And then I remember recently when I was in replies. Hold on a second. I remember recently when I was in replies, I had made clear that okay, so I said right here in this tweet, if anybody were to put me to work right now, a character can be little as $10 and $10 for the render. I can make fonts and backgrounds on my own from scratch. So it's like $20 per cast. So you're pretty much looking at a $60 splash. Your Midwest furry artist from Ohio or Texas can't really do that. So that's what I thought I could advertise. And that's what I thought I'd be able to continue to advertise for the foreseeable future. Because I guess for this this $30 Patreon model, I think it said something about upping the ante and sprucing up the details, cell shade, white, matte, or blended, uh, along with some other things. But it's like it's close. It's close. It's not there to what I tried to advertise now, but it's close. And so all I'm just saying is that I don't want much. I just want enough to be able to survive. This is not a GoFundMe because it's like you will get what you pay for. I want to be able to work. People tell me this all the time, whether or not people are gonna like give a shit or not, or whether or not like, bro, I'd pay for your work or something like that. Like you get a couple of people like that, but it's just like it's only a couple of people, and I'm probably not looking in the right spaces for me to actually look for because I'm nobody's pusher man at this point. I don't make porn like the rest of these people. Like this thread that I was in, a lot of people just did furry porn, and I was just like, yeah, okay, right. So I'm just like a fish out of water at this point. Granted, I've drawn furry porn in the past. It doesn't really matter. I told you guys already. I've drawn furry porn in the past. Like I'm even part of a Discord where I'm a mod in that place, and I'm like, well, not even like a mod, but like an admin because that's my boy. That's my boy's boy, and we're both boys, so we're the shit together. The only thing is, I haven't been the shit together with him this year, especially when he just put it up for me, him, and another person to really put our minds together and trying to advertise ourselves. So it feels like that our dream kind of fell on deaf ears, and I've been doing nothing but carrying that guilt ever since. If it's not this year, then it better be now into next year, because because this is the shit that I felt like I was hindering me on. That was just hindering me. If I knew that I had no work and I knew that my living situation did not feel stable enough for me to engage in that properly, then all I would need to do is just work on both of those things, and then I would feel fine. I have a new place, and I have a new place, and I have a new job. Now I just need clients. And I'm not just talking about doing commission work. I also want to do things for the channel because the channel deserves something. Something. Because I haven't been here for so fucking long. It's been a whole year. I haven't done shit. Done shit because I'm worrying the economy is going to eat my ass. You know what? It was going to. You wanna know why? I almost had to pay like $6,000 because I missed a couple of court dates. That weren't my court dates. I also almost missed a couple of things because unemployment insurance was gonna get my ass if I didn't confirm something. I was gonna lose so much money that I did not have. I was gonna owe so much money that I did not have. That was gonna be my ass. Now I don't have to worry about that shit anymore. I just want to be able to focus properly. I just want to be able to focus properly on my fucking work properly. Obstacles will not be in the way. They will not be in the way. They will not be in the way the same way that I thought they would be. It is just right now a transitional process. Because I know the same things that were bugging me are not going to be in there. I know that I made the decisions clearly, while sloppily I made those decisions. I made those decisions so I didn't have to feel like this anymore. There were just a couple of things that came really left field that had to make me act. That whatever I used to do, whatever creative outlet that I had, did not exist. This is why I've been gone for so damn long. This is why I've been gone for like a fucking year. This is why I couldn't. So I don't know if I'm gonna be screaming into the void about this a long time. I don't know what I'm going to be if I'm gonna be screaming into the void about this for a long time. So I'm just gonna move on to. I already knocked off 3 things off the list. Me acting like a boomer in the intro, me actually introducing myself, me talking about whatever happened now as of late, and now it's time to talk about goals. So going forward, I I want to like be able to advertise myself properly. Going forward, I just want to uh, be able to find clients of my own that will be able to that will be willing to pay. I'm not here to pressure anybody, but um, I have I have to do something. I have to do something. People again, people tell me all the time why like what's happening? Why hasn't anybody heard of you? Because either I haven't done something about it or nobody else has done something about it. That's how bad it is. And maybe people want to play the blame game and say, well, maybe that's because you really haven't done anything about it. And to an extent, they're right. But those same people didn't really didn't really put me to work. They didn't introduce me to anybody that could put me to work. They never said anything. They just said anything and then fucked right off. So the least I can do right now is find my own way in some sort of fashion. Probably talk to a couple of people that can and engage in the community that my friend that I said I was working to do not safe for work stuff with. Uh, I was going to try to engage with that community again, just to feel safe about what community I need to be in, because I don't know, and I don't want to seem as if I have to like ride off of his fame or whatever, because he is in some form Twitter famous. So he's not just Twitter famous; he's also SoundCloud famous apparently. So he's got it, you know, kind of made for him. I guess the only problem is he's got it made for him in New York, which wasn't gonna really give him a chance in the first place. So, you know, like me, we're just suffering on our own art. But he's doing it with fame in his hand. I'm doing it with like, I don't know, some fucking gig economy, doing deliveries and shit, debilitating my fucking ability to do literally anything. And I want to be able to prove that mentality wrong in some way, shape, or form. I want to be able to I want to be able to draw a funny anime and do like I want to be able to draw a funny anime uh doing funny porn shit, or draw like whatever, like like because like, come on, you're telling me that you don't want to see the fucking cast from Doug like do stupid shit? Like, of course, like you're out of your fucking mind. These guys are all the colors of the fucking rainbow. And if you don't like that, you're a homophobe. um, like, I have a whole bunch of shit that I want to do, and I'm not being able to do it because I'm in a predicament. I'm in a predicament where I don't have the outlet to, and sooner or later I will have the outlet to. Sooner or later I'll have the outlet to, but it's just taking a bit right now. So I'm working to even just tap into making videos again. If people can, if people will grant me the finances to help me make their shit, then I will make their shit, and I will do my damnedest to make that shit look good for a decent price of $60 fucking dollars. A decent fucking price of $60 fucking dollars maximum, $10 minimum. Cause I've gauged my time long enough on this fucking earth to realize that this is what it's gotta take. So I'm gonna just do it, and I'm going to make it known, and I'm gonna work to making it known properly too. I'm not just gonna stop at one kind of thing. I'll have to work at a couple of other things. The last time I almost had a fucking mental breakdown because I just did not know how to communicate what I wanted to be on screen. Like this is that mental breakdown personified. This is this mental fucking breakdown personified in this case. Just me having to worry about presentation and people not giving a shit. And so I will like go to the ends of the earth to sell my soul to a bunch of fucking demons in order to do so. Like this is what was racing through my fucking head because I haven't done shit while I was just stuck in my head and like a bunch of other things. I don't know if it was rightfully so, but I really did miss I really missed a hefty opportunity because I wanted to find work, but nobody was giving me that work. And I don't know, maybe if I'd done things a little differently, like fucking bothered a bunch of people, fucking hounded a bunch of people, I probably would have gotten on somebody's side about a couple of things. Okay, you dumb bitch, here's this, that, and the third in which you need to get started. And I've been fine. I guess now I would probably have the outlet to do it, but it's probably gonna come at a price of me maybe, or maybe not, like me may or may not trying to, or not trying to, but just losing the opportunity to do so because I'm effectively out of, I effectively put all my savings into getting the fuck out of the situation I'm in right now. I did that. And my savings is about to go away just another time because I have to make sure I maintain that part of my life until I guess my mom finds another job before that time, which is dire straits, which again I don't even feel like it's anytime soon. So I feel like I'm clawing away for dear life, expecting not expecting, hoping that something hears my call, heeds my emergency, my fucking beck and call, my anything, my SOS, my message in a bottle. So let's showcase some things that have been displayed for like so long since I last posted before I wrap up, because you guys deserve a little bit of something. I mean, you've been kind of seeing it for the most part because I had the beginning of this stream, or the beginning of this video, because this will be a VOD. properly. Like, I'll try to see if I don't know if I can put it up on the list of things, but it'll be there, and I will try to have it square up on the like square up with the channel in some way. But you know, so I'm just let me see if I can rearrange this. There we go. Here's a thumbnail, and this is the thumbnail that I had. It's telling because it's telling because I wanted to make the thumbnail. I was coming home one time, and I was I was coming home yesterday, and I was just thinking, okay, so what the fuck do I want the thumbnail to be? Well, I wanted it to be something about father, like being like a deadbeat dad or something like that. So maybe it's just it's probably gonna hold the things that was gonna. It was probably the mother should be YouTube, carrying the two son of a bitches that got me here in the first place, in some form of way, not just on YouTube but on Twitter, and they're just there. I still get Twitter notifications of the first time that I put these two up in like June of 2020, when we first got word of like Ribbit, and I did like a funny post of them. So they're mostly responsible for me even having any type of like internet fame in general. So, and I just as a very pestered person in my delivery uniform, just not having it. As you can clearly hear in my voice, because I'm not having it. The assets made off of it were pretty much just me drawing and me sketching and me mocking up and me sketching and me doing all that other shit. And here's another thing to be said too. I guess some of you can remember whether like the time where I did have like a way to render things. Like I had a specific way of rendering things, and it would just look good or decent or alright or mid. It doesn't matter. Whatever your fucking subjective opinion is about me. Whether like you would see whether it's like you would see like the difference in like the difference in quality in comparison to something like, let me see if I can open song. Let me open up because you guys see my thumbnails. My thumbnails are just like a pretty good comparison of what my shit used to be, in comparison to what my thumbnails look like now, because I have to think of something because I don't have a lot of. And I say that now, but like I do have a lot, but they just sit on a back burner, or they're just not as good to just throw out in comparison. So a lot of these things just look like this. Yeah, this is like people could say, oh, that's not bad. I couldn't mock up a street like that in my own time. Yeah, I couldn't gesture a street like that in my own time when I realized I was going through like some stupid shit this fucking year. But look at me go now. But it's still not any good because I know I'm better than this. It's just I'm glad that I'm able to do a little bit something about something about perspective in this regard. But it goes to show you what my quality of work has dwindled to, because I don't have the time nor the money. So you get an idea of idea of like diminishing returns here. Let me see if I can show my rando screen. Anyway, this is me trying to at least do something a little high quality again. And you can see from my profiles that something about me was going to come back. I did change it because I had my YouTube profile for about 4 years now, 4 or 5 years, maybe. Just yeah, for the time I started my channel, I had that shit the way it was for like 4 or 5 years. No, not 4 years. 3 years. Either for 3 years or 2 years. It's gonna be 3 years, but even then, it's just like I'd rather it be something different. So yeah. Uh, yeah, it's just I want to be able to get back in the habit of posting content. These are just my my reminders of why I want to. Now, we have a couple of things as well. I remember when my friend messaged me about what are you doing, and I'm like saying I'm killing SpongeBob. What do you mean you're killing SpongeBob? I mean I'm redesigning SpongeBob, but I'm effectively killing him in the process. Like I don't know, I'm making them I'm making SpongeBob characters look radical as fuck or something. I don't know. Not super radical, but just radical in the way that they're drawn. So I took creative liberties and just did that. Uh, I had a couple of times. This was like this, like these two. They're just a product of what happens when I just watch Coraline or something. Because here we have Coraline and here we have Livy, but then we have I did it again, right? I did it again. I had them here. Where did I do them again at? I don't think they were on this page. I think they were on another one. Mm, the pocket dimension. I hope nothing dangerous comes on my screen. And I don't usually have genitals in my porn, so maybe I can get by off of it. Maybe the poses can be probably bad. Okay, we don't have anything bad on screen. That's cool. I'm literally goated. I'm literally goated. Let me see if I can find it. This? Okay. Okay, so minute. Let's see. Nope. That can actually go somewhere bad. Coke page. Fantasy. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Alright. There's Coraline right there. I tried drawing Coraline. I tried drawing Coraline, but only like a different way. I was like far removed. I tried drawing them again. Like very stupid anime. Like very stupid. Like ugly. Very stupid, very ugly, very grunge. Very preppy or whatever. I tried doing that. As well as trying to draw a whole bunch of other things. Like edge runners and so on. But I'll tell you one thing. I've been trying to like my entire fucking fall was doing nothing but refine an art style. And that was this chibi looking art style that I held on to for months at a time. Let me see. There we go. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can turn one of them off. And I realized that we're about to go over time, so let me see if I can just wrap this up. So for a long time now, because I got tired of how similar certain aspects of my tackling of anime versus my tackling of like chibi has been feeling very different. I tried measuring this with Scott Pilgrim, and I realized that it's not a good adaptation. Like personally for me, it's not a good adaptation. You can see a couple of times where I try to make sure that if I tried chibifying it, that I'd have to make sure that certain limbs are less slender and more fatter and more thicker and more anything, so that they're not ugly. So they're not ugly and slim and all that other stuff. And I had a sheet. I had a sheet to make sure that wasn't the case. Which was I had a sheet to make sure that consistency was not out of place, and that was, I think, over here. I don't think I have a sheet for that, or at least I do, but I don't know where I put it. Uh, is it in Rando? It's probably not in Rando because I would see it. I would see it. I would see it. I would see it. But I had a list of what that would look like, and where some of that style would be reserved for. Because I would use some sort of sonic. I would use like the sonic grunge, the grunge that I would use for like making Sonic characters. I would use that for I would use that for like my simplified drawings, like my simplified cartoonish sketches of things, and then for like this chibi style, or this chibi style, this hybrid, because Scott, like, when I had to tackle like Scott Pilgrim stuff or like Brian Lee stuff, I had to really, that really put me in a fucking check. Like I had this too. Is like, if you're probably gonna sit down here and have a melted breakdown on how to draw Scott and I, you should probably stop drawing us altogether. He thinks he hates elephantitis on lady ankles. To which I replied, "Nigga, shut your mouth." Anyway, um, so I had a bit of falling out with having to obtain the style a couple of times. Um, I don't know where else I would actually have that issue. Let me see if there's where I can find me actually trying to start doing it. So here's I found the list. I found the list. I found the list. So we have anime, we have we have we have cartoon, we have the simplified cartoons, and we have the cheapy style that we're talking about having to update constantly. So anime, cartoons, and like a cartoonish simplified, and cartoon anime hybrid. These this had a rough process of trying to constantly refine and redo all the time. I mean, I was stuck on it. I mean, I had to make sure I get it right. So No Bitches 3, the third wheel, Sonic Advance 3, you get it. Um, I kept having to deal with it a lot. In fact, more times in other places that are not my computer. Meaning, when I was at work and I had downtime, I would just kind of just have to keep refining the style. And I realized in some moments it was easier to do it in my sketchbook than on my tablet. And then I realized there were other ways that were easier because I was working off such a small page, a small medium, that I would just not be able to like communicate half of the anatomy that I want to do properly, until I got onto the big screen like this one. So it's just a lot of just me having to do a lot of math, a lot of art math, and trying to make sure I get the stuff down. The thing with the stuff and the limbs on them, with the thing and the limbs on them, and the ankles and the wrist and the things on them. So I had a lot of time trying to make sure that was refined. So it's not like that I wasn't doing anything, but I didn't know how I felt about releasing them until today. And I wanted to do something like, I said, you know what I should do? I should like try to do something for edge runners. That never happened. Go fuck yourself. But it's not like to say that I want it to happen, because I'm like saying, I want to do something gouging worthy because I want to make Rebecca sit on David's face. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, hey man, go figure. I had a lot of like room to just make sure that I was refining a lot of things. And right here, I was kind of getting upset that I wasn't being able to do that like a lot early, like a lot. Like I was trying to make sure that there was no stone left unturned about how I wanted to like correct the anatomy. And you know, until today, which case it's not like it's still refined. Obviously, there's a lot of things that I need to do, but it's hitting a better mark because I wanted to sit at this point where it doesn't look like it will be out of place. But like there are like a lot of things will be communicated or be out of place. Like it would feel like like anatomically clear and anatomically communicated. So you know, me trying to do different poses to make sure that this anatomy, this style works properly in all forms. Because if it doesn't, you'll see that other people's faces are too fucking big for them to be touching anybody. I.E. I.E. Hold on. I.E. Let me see if I can just stop saying I.E. For example. Um. I.E. this. I.E. this. This is me trying to do an example of trying to make sure that I can communicate somebody getting smothered in this pose. This is why having to do character design and all that other shit matters, because you have to worry about how clarity is. If you can't see it, it's not a good design. So yeah, there's just a lot of that. There's a lot of that. There's there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it really. Um, so that's my art journey for the past for the past 5.5 months. It's been pretty hectic to even feel good about posting, to feel good about remotely posting something if I haven't felt like I was my work in every time. So yeah. Um, Let me see if there isn't something like getting ready to be played copyright and stuff like that. Because I had some Adult Swim stuff playing, but I know I had a couple of copyrighted tracks, but that doesn't come until like, I hope it doesn't come until like the end. I usually have I usually have hidden I usually have hidden copyrighted tracks at the end of this bumper playlist I have for myself. So I don't know. I'm just gonna stop it just to be safe and say for the record, thank you for coming to my TED talk. I'm kind of tired, because I know that even though like even though today was practically my day off, I still I still am kind of tired. I didn't even have enough like know how to like feel comfortable of trying to do anything today. But I knew I had to get this word out about whether or not I I needed I needed support for my channel, and I needed support for my artwork, because I want to work for people outside of working for a company that does nothing but make bad decisions for themselves because they have to worry about a demographic themselves. And I don't blame them for making stupid decisions. Hell, I made stupid decisions myself. But here's the thing: I endanger myself and myself only, as well as, I don't know, making people not believe or not rely on my worth ethic. While they, as a company, as even if they're very limited, like they have limited liability, legality and morality still go so far to just say go fuck yourself, because even a company is liable for a lot of people getting hurt, feeling like shit, their mental health, all of it. So I don't know, that company versus me. No, I'm not as bad as them. So at least I want to make sure that while I eventually take people's money, or I, or like when I eventually take people's money, I give them good artwork like this that you see on screen, and I also animate that artwork to do awesome shit. So who knows? You get what you fucking deserve. Um, that's all I have to say. This has been going on for about an hour and 10 minutes, and I wanted to be no more than an hour. I'll see you guys next week when I talk about whatever happens next in my life, as well as being able to showcase my stuff properly, and also being able to draw for some of you guys, because I guess that's important. And I hope I'll be in a much better mood. All right.